All right, so I'm going to finish this up now and then show you how to clean it up. So at the end of the last video, where we learned how to use the magic wand with contiguous and we learned how to move selections between layers, I'm still going to do a lot of that to clean a lot of this up. But I noticed that of my layers, this layer was a lot lighter than the other layers. Do you guys see that? So I am now going to show you how you can go through and clean up the black and white of your layers. And I'm going to isolate that one that's a problem first. Right? And I'm even going to turn off the background so you can see that this is an issue of black and white pixels. So this is line art, and it goes onto the black and white scale, right? So it fits within everything we looked for in Google Images. The problem is it's like an 80% black instead of a 100% black. So how do we adjust what are called the values of an image? Value is the grayscale, how light or dark it is. If it is rasterized, which it is, I can go to Image and Adjustments. So we've only used image for image size so far. Now we're going to use it for what are called direct adjustments. And we're going to be learning a lot about these as we get into compositing. Why we start with black and white line art is because we're not going to worry about color yet. We're only worrying about value. So we're only going to use one direct image adjustment. And that direct image adjustment is levels. Command L is the shortcut for it, but I always go through image adjustment levels. This will always be the first adjustment we use. They're called direct adjustments because they will physically change the pixels. So it does have to be rasterized to do this. Now what we see, for those of you who are digital photographers, is a histogram. It's not a very interesting histogram. It doesn't look like most histograms, but this shows you the pixel layout. And it shows you that we have white pixels. You see how it peaks there at the white? And it shows you that we have about 80% black pixels. And then we have a small range of slightly lighter pixels. What we don't have are any pure black pixels. So what the levels adjustment allows you to do is to take the white and push it so that those whites really brighten up. So whatever the white pixels are, you're going to do what's called blasting them out. So if there's a watermark that's a light gray, you just take that white square here at the edge of the histogram and you push it beyond that gray until that watermark disappears. My problem is opposite. My problem is that my dark isn't dark enough. So I'm going to take the black square and I'm going to push it to where it is beyond where those pixels are, and it's going to get to a 100% black. Even the lighter grays, they're going to get darker and darker. Now, if I do it too close, it's going to get really, really choppy looking, closer to bitmap mode. And so what I can leave is what's called anti-aliasing, which if I really zoom in, you'll see, which is slightly gray pixels on the edge. And that helps smooth it out. And that's usually what good line art looks like. It's anti-aliased. But you'll see the difference. That's with the levels. This is without the levels. Gesundheit. So it definitely cleans up the line art. And now it matches better with the other line art. Speaking of the other line art, if I layer it all up, I want to open up some space, right? So let's see. What can I do? Maybe I want this foot to show through on all of them. So what can I do? I take the magic wand, I have it on contiguous, I click inside that while selecting that layer, and then I click on other layers and select those layers and delete. And it will delete from within that shape. So that by the end, you can see it. It opens it up. Is there another shape? It doesn't need to be from the bottom layer. Maybe I take it from this layer. Is there a shape? Maybe this hand. Now, because of where I've cut it, I think those will all be contained. Oh, I'm not on the right layer. And then I'm going to hold down Shift so I get that whole hand. So those two shapes. And now I'm going to move that between these layers. And delete. And delete. And delete. And delete. So just kind of opening up the space. So you see that hand is nice and free. Let's try taking one from this layer. So I've already done the thumbtack. Let's see. Bless you. Maybe this hand right here. So I'm going to use the magic wand, but I have to be on that layer. And then I can move it through and delete from all the layers. So the inside of that shape always shows. And this is starting to make more and more sense visually. Now, on this layer, I want to open up this part of the shirt. But if I use the magic wand and select that, my fear is it's going to select more than I want it to. You know, it selects all of that. So now this is how you can modify selections. You can use the magic wand and the lasso. They're both selection tools. But when you use it, you're going to use Shift to add to your selection and Option to subtract from your selection. So I want to subtract everything except for this shape. So I'm going to hold down Option. I'm going to use the magic wand, and I'm going to lasso around the things I don't want selected. I want to subtract that from the selection, and I want to subtract this from the selection. Does that make sense? And then if I wanted to add a shape, I'd hold down Shift, and I'll say I want to add this to the selection. But then I'm going to do Command Z to undo that. Okay. So now I take that shape that I've selected, and I'm going to move it between the other layers and delete it. So it shows up. Just that edge of the shirt, because I like how it's drawn. And then I might do that with the nose. With the magic wand of this layer. So once you get kind of used to it, you won't even need to turn on and off layers to see what you're doing. Because you'll have understood your layers well enough. Now I can zoom in, and when I'm zoomed in, I can use the space bar. It turns it into what's called the hand tool to just click and drag to move around. And some of my lines are bumpier, some of them are smoother, but they're all nice and solid black now. And the tongue. Remember, I selected inside the tongue, but I never deleted it from that top layer. Is there anything else? Maybe this edge right here. I'm going to use the magic wand, select that, and then delete that from the other edges, other layers. All right, so now I'm virtually done, but I need to finalize it. And I see one other thing I don't love. And this I won't use the magic wand for, but I want to get rid of this layer inside this. So I'm just going to use the magic wand and just keep it inside the line art. I kind of trace within the lines, loop it around, select, and just delete it from that one layer. There we go. And that opens that up. And maybe this as well, because I don't really like that little hang on there. And maybe here as well. And you could work and kind of perfect this as you like, but I want to show you how we're going to finish it off. So does this give the personality of Garfield's line art? I think so. Is it clearly recognizable as copyrightable images of Garfield? I don't think so. And that's something we're going to learn more about, and that's what your reading of chapter 2 will help you with as well. I'm just cleaning up little things. Okay, so how do we finish it off? I'm going to hit Command minus to make it a little smaller. You see how I've done a good job. This is the ideal to avoid breaking the edges. So it's kind of this free-floating thing, like a wad you would put in a trash can, a jumble. But now I want to select all of them and move them to center it a little bit. So what I'm going to do is click on the top layer, hold down Shift, and click on my last layer above the background. This is how you do a multiple layer selection. When they are all selected, then I can do Edit, Free Transform to all layers at once. And that way I can hold down Shift and just squish it all a little bit, fit it onto the paper. I can even rotate it all a little bit if I want. I can even flip it all if I want, but I don't. So I'm going to undo that. So let me show you how you do that again. You select all the layers by holding down Shift, and then Free Transform, and then treat it just like it's a single layer. And I'm going to squeeze it to kind of fit onto that 8x10, and then hit Return. And that will adjust all your layers at once. I just want to find the layer that this line is on. I want to get rid of that. That's the last one. Nope. So I want to subtract from that. I use Option. I just want to get rid of that line there. There we go. But then I lost this tiny little bit. So you can get pretty picky. Zoom in, hold down spacebar. I didn't want to lose that, so I do Command Z, Command Z. Now I use Option, and I subtract that part of the selection, and now I delete, and now it gets rid of what I want. All right. So now this is finished. I can even submit it, but it's not what's called clean. So what I'm going to do is just turn it in as is. Now is a good time. We want to get this turned in by 11:30, so that's 4 minutes from now. So I'm going to say Save. So we want to save the changes to our PSD, right? Because that changes the file from what we opened. And where does it change it? It changes it within our master folder where we dragged it from. So now this has been changed and updated. Now I need to make it into an online format that we can put into Canvas. So I say File and Export As. And the format we're going to use is a JPEG. We're going to use a JPEG because we want that empty space, those empty pixels, to be filled in with white. And then we say Save. Now when you save out of Photopea as a new file, it's going to go to your Downloads folder. So I look for it in my downloads, the one close to my trash, and then I drag that onto my desktop, right? And then I can open up my master file, open up my exercise 1, and I drag it in here. Now, what color do we make our online files? Who remembers? Orange. Yeah, online starts with O, just like orange. Now, how do I submit it? I go to the Canvas course. You can save it into your folder. You can save it into your, just onto your desktop, anywhere you can find it. And then I'm going to start my post, just following those directions. Number 1, don't worry about number 2 until the end of the semester, because that's for your final portfolio. And I'm going to write my name. And I often put this. This is under exercise 1, line art jumble. Then I'm going to hit Return. And I'm going to drag and drop the orange online JPEG in. And then I'm going to click on it and shrink it